Hello, Clark. What's going on, Clark? What's happening? How was that meeting last Saturday when you got that lady come over here and make sure that everything is gonna come out better than ever, and we see what happened. What's going on with your buddy Donald Trump?
Well, I don't know. Is he back in the good old USA yet?
I don't
I
know.
think he probably is. I don't know. He can't be gone for long.
Well, they have a debate today, no? Or tomorrow or something, that they have some kind of event and they both gonna be there. Hillary Clinton and Trump.
I didn't hear that one.
I hear that and what do you call that? Outnumbered.
Really? I don't know what that
I
is.
I don't know what happened to your encyclopedia. What happened to your encyclopedia?
I don't know. That's I haven't heard one word about that. So you must be.
No. What happened to your encyclopedia?
My encyclopedia. What's that?
The laptop that you always carry with you.
Well, I can find out, I guess.
Here, you know how to use this?
No.
No?
It's broken.
No, this is not
It's
broken.
cracked.
This is not broken.
Let me find out what you're talking about.
No, I don't know. It's just I hear that they're gonna have some kind of
I don't think Hillary Clinton is looking forward to talking to Donald Trump.
Oh wow, we got
Person
a
to
new
person.
one now. We got a new one, a little tiny one, a baby laptop.
Look at this.
Oh my
Kind
God!
of fancy, huh?
And that was the one that they sent as a complimentary for Las Vegas Tribune, and
Yeah, that's it.
you confused the Radio Tribune.
Yes, that's it.
Oh, I see. Oh my God! No wonder you was hiding that laptop.
Right. So let's
The
see.
baby laptop.
You're saying that there's some event with Hillary. Let's see.
Hillary and Trump at the same
With-
day. I don't know if it's in the same venue, but in the same day at same city.
I don't know about that.
And they was talking about that she's not ready to face.
Yeah, that's for sure. She'll never be ready. She'll probably never be, if she stays in, there'll never be a presidential season with as few debates as this one. Because she can't handle the debate.
And you know, Elizabeth Warren was talking today in one of the events. And I tell you, when the candidate has to pinpoint into insignificant things like Donald Trump had, you know, how ridiculous. They're struggling. They are not doing what they're supposed to be. Talk issues. That's what they need to talk. They need to talk issues.
Did you hear this guy, Robbie Moot, on Chris Wallace on Sunday?
No.
You always watch that.
Yeah, but I know this Sunday.
Well, really? This guy is some spokesman for the Hillary campaign.
Oh, like anybody else, I was working on Sunday.
Oh, okay. Well, I work by watching these idiots come out and spew their garbage.
I know.
And this guy's ridiculous.
I know.
He's absolutely insane. He talks about there's never been a candidate as unqualified as Donald Trump to run for president.
Really?
What? Everything out of his mouth was
Where was he when Jimmy Carter was running?
Well, where was he when Hillary Clinton was running? Yeah. And he's her campaign manager.
Oh, he is?
Something like that.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, no, that's awful. So.
Just complete lies. Unbelievable. What comes out of their mouth. And what worries me is 47% of the listening people are going to listen to it and believe it. It's amazing.
Well, if they listen to, doesn't mean they're going to believe it.
Well, 47% will. That's that number. Remember the magical 47% of low information voters? These are low information people. They've been indoctrinated and brainwashed
I think those
by the
numbers,
liberals and progressives.
honestly, maybe I'm naive, maybe I am, I don't know, maybe I'm naive, but I believe that those numbers may be coming down now in this election. People are getting involved, people are learning, people are digging now information that before they took for granted, and right now you tell them something and they go into the encyclopedia and they start digging the opposite side and they start digging the contrary opinion of what happened, you know. And I don't think, you know, one thing that I've been trying my best to get fill in his schedule because I like him to call in. I don't expect him to come to this humble office to do a radio show. He hasn't done it. He hasn't done a radio show in person in a while now. He do it over the phone.
He does TV.
Yeah, TV is different. You know, he do Bill O'Reilly. He do Hannity, especially Hannity. He like Hannity. But because I wanted to ask him what he is going to do about Cuba, about the embargo, and about there is about 10 airlines that are open flights. First of all,
one of them is American.
The other one is Southwest, and I believe that those airlines are breaking the law because American businesses are not allowed to do business with Cuba. The Congress has not lifted the embargo just because this guy decided to go fine, but businesses.
That's the point. I don't know what happened with what was just done with.
I don't know, and I would like I would like to see. I don't. I'm gonna try. I'm not gonna say I'm not Southwest anymore because I can't afford first class. Well, first of all, even when I could afford first class, I don't.
Didn't even have first class.
They don't. Way in the back, right there before the bathroom.
Well,
because
that's
I hear
supposedly the safest place. Is that what
Yes.
you're talking about?
I don't know when the plane go down, nobody's gonna.
Crash or whatever it is.
Yeah.
She's the only survivor, but she was back in that cubby hole and she sat down in that little jumper seat in the tail. And then another was a guy that was in the tail section. And he survived. So
yeah, I don't like. Well, I'm very, very particular. Travel like when I used to in one plane, I wait and get the other, or vice versa. I go in the first plane and then she catch the next. We don't go in the same plane in case the plane crash. We both don't
a
go
lot
there.
of couples do that.
Really? I was doing that for a long, long time. No businesses.
Well, how do you fly? Can you
Well,
fly yourself? You have to
Get
go.
get uh, get and see how to Cuba, to do business with Cuba.
Can businesses fly to Cuba? Can businesses do business with Cuba? How about that?
Well, all I know is that I'm gonna try to do the less flying possible with any of those airlines.
So you're gonna boycott them?
I can. One person cannot boycott it, but I think then it should be something that the Cuban people should. You can. I don't because you don't know anything about. Well, you never suffer
I never
the
experienced it.
consequences. With this relationship, the citizens of the island are not going to benefit. And that's why it bothers me, it makes me sick. The Cuban people going over there to do business with the regime of them out. Of course, I can understand maybe some of those people, there are somebody here now, they were nobody in Cuba. They have no future in Cuba. That's why they come over here and they become somebody, or they think they are somebody, and they want to go there to flash their money and to do business with the enemy. I do not believe that that is a fair way to be a Cuban. But it's like it happened with the Chamber of Commerce. Why does the Latin Chamber of Commerce have to go to Cuba? I don't care what name you give them. I don't care what result you expect. You're supposed to improve the business relation in Las Vegas. Thinking about, they are not about themselves to become big shots, to become somebody that they never would if it wasn't for Fidel Castro. Very, very much. Nobody's got it away from me. I believe they're not Cubans, they fish. We were supposed to have a day, but I guess he forgot, I don't know why, but forget. This is better than Chris Wallace show, you know.
I almost was going to throw something through it, but I didn't have anything handy. That guy was ridiculous. How can they just get out there and just say such stupid stuff? There's never been anyone more qualified than Hillary Clinton. What has she done?
But let me
And
ask
then
you,
you know how he answers that?
but let
By
me,
saying what Trump hasn't done.
but let me ask you something. What, what do you expect from a guy that is getting paid to do that? He's doing his job. You cannot
Well,
blame the guy.
Why
He's
don't they
doing his
get,
job.
why don't, when you come out with a stupid statement like he was, why doesn't Chris Wallace interrogate him on that? Well, what are you basing that on? What has killed, but they don't.
Call
They're
me
like,
cynical.
he sits there like a wet noodle.
Call me cynical, but let me ask you something. What do you expect from Chris Wallace?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. So thank you. That's my answer.
So why are these people on TV? I don't
They go
understand.
there. They go because they are using. In this case, he's using his father's uh, name. That's all. He got there because he's Mike Wallace's son. Not because he is, and because he probably kissed enough Democrats' feet that they put him in there because he's a good spokesman for the Democrats.
Yeah, but why can't we start a movement, truth in journalism? That when you're a journalist, is he a journalist, Chris Wallace?
I don't think he is.
Well, that's the problem, I
I don't
guess.
think
But
he is. I
how
don't know.
about truth and a proper identification?
To be
What
honest
are
with
you?
I have never read his bio, but I don't think because people confuse to be on TV or to be on the radio with journalists. That is not true.
It's such a muddy line now. It's like Obama's line in Syria. Where is the line? Well, what happened to it? I mean, it's the same thing with if you're on TV, what are you? Are you a journalist? Are you reporting news? Are you reporting your own opinion? What are you? Don't you think you should have a disclosure statement up
That's
front?
what you are when you are a commentarist.
Then you're a con. You should have a disclaimer.
When you are an editorialist, you editorialize.
Right. Shouldn't that be disclosed to the American people? Because they told me that they were listening last year, and then they think that's the Bible. That everything Chris Wallace just said is true.
Who
That's
said
the opposite.
Let me ask you, what make you think that everything that Chris Wallace say is the truth?
Dumb people will think it is. That's my point.
Well, first of all, dumb people will not listen to Chris Wallace.
They won't?
No, I don't think so.
What if they're flipping around?
Intelligent people don't listen to Chris Wallace.
Oh, well, but that's the problem, is we don't have 50% of the people in this country may not be intelligent. 47% definitely are. So that's the problem, is we're dealing with a bunch of people
that don't care,
down.
people that have nothing else to do, people that are negative no matter what, they listen to Chris Wallace. People that are ignorant listen to Chris Wallace. And I'm telling you, it doesn't mean that everyone that don't switch my words, don't twist my words. Okay? I know a lot of people, a lot of intelligent people listen to him because they want to debate what he said the next day in their radio show and TV show. You don't think people in Fox News listen to Chris Wallace? They do. They do because they can use that for their own shows. It's like, why would I listen to Kevin Wall? Why would I listen to Kevin Wall? Why?
I have no idea. I guess to do research. Is that what you're doing? Research? See what other people are saying? Not what he's saying.
And
see what other people are saying.
What other people say. Why I do that? Because I believe that that gives me a base to do a show over here. And I can turn what he said. Sometimes he do some good things. Sometimes he say good things. It's like that other idol that you have now, what's his name?
One that's 99.8% correct.
No, the other one. At 4 to 6 in the afternoon.
Oh, War. Wayne Allen Root.
I thought that guy was a kid. I picture him different. He almost looks like Hannigan, whatever.
He
He's
might
tall.
be even a little older than him. I don't know. He's in his 50s.
He got a voice that it is very, very pleasant. I like him. But one thing I have to tell these people, I don't care. It's not a criticism. It's not criticizing them. I'm just giving a little bit as an audience advice. When you're gonna give the number out, slow down, my friend. Don't go because people cannot get the number.
What's the number?
I don't know.
702-493-5222. Is that the number?
For here, you mean? Oh, for here, yeah. I don't know the number here because I don't expect
What number are you talking about?
I'm talking about those people in War and
he gives his number too fast.
And the other guy, Kevin Wall. I tried to call today. I forgot what he had there, who he had there, and I wanted to call them, and I couldn't get the number.
Well, I don't know.
There was something he said. Then I wanted to call and tell him. And I'm not the kind of person that call other radio shows because, first of all, I don't like my accent, so that's one of the reasons why. Second, I don't like to identify myself because people think I'm calling to promote my own newspaper or my own radio show, and I don't remember what it was, but it was something to do with the Nevada legislation. I think it was. I don't remember. But I tried to call and I could not do it. They was talking. It was a kind of interesting show, He got good people going to his show. I just don't agree with nobody tell. Oh, I know what it was, but it's gone. It's, what do you say? Gonzo. No, nothing like that. So, but anyway, I think I have an experience, the other day when my radiator blew up in the middle of Charleston and Main Street, and I made the traffic go bananas.
I can imagine.
No, man.
And I tell you what.
What?
You can't find out the legal answer to your embargo question. This internet's all over the place. Nobody's answering. Legislators in the Senate have proposed legislation to, I can't find that it's been lifted. Someone else would bring that up.
The Colombian name of but the people from Pablo Escobar,
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
They had a show on 60 Minutes last night about your buddy Goose. You happen to catch that? You didn't catch that? No, what were you doing this week?
Okay.
Unbelievable. They showed Guzman's various things, a couple of his tunnels, his house where he got camera from a gas station, showing surveillance. The cameras are going crazy out there now with that guy.
I know. That van over there.
Looks like Escobar.
That van over there.
Phony sticker on the side of it, so-and-so utilities, whatever.
Yeah, but now they don't need to do that. They sit in the office and put the cameras in your house.
It comes from satellite?
You see what happened? You see that lady the other day when he was in everything free of charge.
Oh.
But I don't do that because if I don't expect anybody, I don't care who rings or bell. I don't even do it.
Then you have a broken door that you have to fix.
Let it do it. I beg I beg somebody to try to get inside my house. I beg. With or without me being there. You know. First of all, they got to find out where I am because I sleep in a different place every night. Well, not every night. I'm not exaggerating. You know, but at least 3 times a week. I'm not running against my bill collectors or anything. They all know where I am during the time. You know, I just don't like to be surprised at nighttime when I am in my pajamas. You know, I don't want to be in my underwear. That's why. But everybody know where I am in the daytime, right here. You know, I don't like to be surprised when I'm in my underwear.
I don't know, my friend. You brought up an interesting question. March 26, Obama called Cuban embargo. How American Airlines can fly there?
Well, they're breaking the law. That's what I'm saying. I understand. How can they fly over there is beyond my imagination because the airlines are not supposed to do. But everybody wants Cuba for 2 weeks.
Now?
Yeah.
When did that start?
They charge $1,500 per. No, 15,000.
Going to Mars or going to Cuba? The hell are you talking about?
Oh.
$15,000.
They send the flight. They send the brochures in the mail. And they show the boat over there with all the lights on and the people dancing and you know, about that. But it's an astronomical amount of money when it's.
Well, and some idiots will sign up and pay it. You know, like Love Boat, whatever, big, you know, whatever you want to pay, whatever the market will bear.
Why would you pay? You pay $1,500 to go to Cuba to see Henry and me.
Maybe you want to find some old cars that you could buy.
You cannot buy the old cars.
Oh.
And then you can go.
Yeah, I just looked at
the cost of living. Yeah.
Too. I just saw something about $100. Cargo question. That's a very.
Well, maybe you need question very, very, very straight. Can you just do this? I got in 2 questions.
Well, I've been putting a bunch of questions in there and I don't get any.
Can American businesses do business with communist countries? Can American businesses do business with communist?
I looked up a list of countries that have embargoes or whatever, and Cuba's one of them. I've already looked up that list, and Cuba's one of them. They can bring in medical supplies and art something or other, like artwork or whatever. But that's it. So I mean, I'm not getting.
That is sarcastic. That's cynical. You want to bring art to a place where people have nothing to eat?
Yeah.
You know, it's like I saw on TV the other day, some stupid choreographer. Then I don't know if he was a woman or he was a woman wannabe. I don't know what it was. He put in a fashion show over there, and the cheapest suit, the cheapest dress was $800. How can you do that to people that are there starving and they are prisoners of war? Because that's what they are, prisoners of war. You know, how can you go there and put a fashion show? Who's gonna buy you, stupid? Nobody else will do that. Nobody else will have the stupid mentality of going to put a fashion show in Cuba. So, but everybody is looking for the 15 minutes of fame, you know? I don't understand.
I don't know. I don't see where this embargo's had any. Wouldn't it have to be up to Congress to lift the embargo?
Yeah. Obama cannot do it. Obama cannot do it unless he named himself the almighty dictator of the United States.
Well, he's done that.
No, not say the word dictator.
I thought he did. It's not legal, but he did it. He says it all the time.
Not yet.
Oh.
Not yet.
Did the Supreme Court today ruled on that McDonald case? Is it McDonald? The guy was at West Virginia, the governor. They got convicted. Yeah, Supreme Court threw it out.
404.
Something like that. Let me see if I can find that out. I can't find anything else out on here. I'm really striking out today. To try to find information is getting very, very difficult because nobody wants to answer any definitive questions. You know, they give you an answer anymore. They never give you an answer. We'll see if we can find out what that Supreme Court decision. Supreme Court ruling on McDonald. Well, what was it? What? Jesus, can't find anything on this thing anymore. It's amazing. What the hell? Unbelievable. Anyways, on with the stock. Someone call in here and tell me what economic fallout from Britain taking back its sovereignty from Brussels overreaching control about hair dryers and teapots. I don't see what the negative connotation is to that, especially on the economy. I understand that Britain uses the euro for now. They're going to do away with that and go back, I guess, to their pound and their own money and so forth. But what is the turmoil? Is it just the volatility that is causing this upturn in the stock market? Or what is the reason for this plummet that we're having? I think the stock market today was down a couple hundred points the last I checked. It was down 600 the other day. So in 2 days, it's gone down 800 points. That's a pretty significant drop in the old stock market. Right now, it's down 270 points. Why? What does the euro have to do with Britain? Just goes back to using the pound again. They have their own money. What's wrong with that?
Nothing is wrong.
I think it's all positive what's going on over there. You know, you try to unify the Britons and the French and the Germans and the Spanish and all that. All these countries speak their own language. They have their own they have their own money. They did. They have their own ideology. They have their own religion in some cases. I know, like Italy's supposed to be very Catholic or whatever. Britain maybe not so much. France, I don't know. But I mean, they're all different societies. How can you make them all one? Like John Kerry, you're in a borderless world now. How does that work? And what's wrong with borders? What's wrong with the France?
Yeah,
what's wrong with the London? What's
I'm
wrong
glad
with Germany?
I'm glad you mentioned that. Why do we have to have borderless? Why? What is the idea of living in a country that you want and be protected by a border, be secluded by that border? We all have doors in our house. We all have fences in our backyard. Why don't we have fences in our borders?
I think it has something to do with dividing people and making the water muddier. Because if you have your own people, then your people can say, wait a minute, we don't like our leaders doing this or that. So maybe the people can vote and change things. But if you're all mixed up and you're all over the world with a borderless world, who the hell says this or who the hell says that? Only King Obama can dictate the world. So it screws everything up. It takes authority away from the people and gives it to rulers.
I don't believe in borderless. I don't.
No, I don't either. Yeah. And isn't that part of the character of going to Europe, is to see the different cultures? You know, they all speak different languages. You can go to Spain and speak Spanish or whatever it is. You can go to France, speak French. Go to Germany, speak whatever that language is they speak. They call it English, but I can't understand it.
English? They call it English?
I guess. And you can go to Scotland. they say they speak English
there.
No,
they speak German.
In
Germany they speak
German. In England.
Oh, in England.
Yeah, in England.
But that's the real English. We speak American in here.
Oh, okay. Well, I can't understand.
Yeah.
And then you turn in the Scottish accent to it, and I'm lost. I don't understand.
I don't understand that England language. Yeah. I don't understand that English language. No. And even in the computer, they tell you English. In United States, English, England. They give you different kind of English because maybe the word might be the same, but the accent and the meaning can be different. Yeah, no. I believe that we need. I believe in the borders. I agree with you 100%. You know, we all have we all have houses. We all have houses. We got windows, we got doors, we got fences in the back. I have fence in the front. You know, we, it's funny because we are living, and I guarantee you that John Kerry lived a very secluded life.
Oh, are you kidding?
I guarantee you that he lived in a very
He's a hypocrite, one of the biggest going.
But they wanted borderless. That's a good story. I might gonna do check and see what his house looks like.
Oh my God. All the money that he has is from his wife.
Oh yeah.
Who was married to a Republican, the Hines family.
Yeah.
They were Republicans. Now he dies, and the wife ends up marrying the staunch liberal idiot, in my opinion, Lurch. What is that? That should be a law against women, wives giving their money away to a liberal after it was made by a conservative. Should be a law there somehow. That's kind of like some kind of I don't know, commingling of. There should be a law against that.
He took over the cattle, and he became the boss.
Yeah.
And it's her money, but he controlled the money.
Yeah. Well,
isn't that what the pimps do?
Kinda. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There should be a law against that.
That's what the pimps do. They bring the girl. Hey, you go out, you make the money. I control the money. That's what it is.
Exactly right. How do we get charges filed against him?
I don't know. I'm gonna talk to the former Attorney General of Nevada.
Okay.
She had a vendetta against pimps and everything. I don't want to mention her name because she is in cahoots with Harry Reid now, and I don't want to give her any publicity that can give Harry Reid any power whatsoever. No way. So, yeah, that's it's like that. What do you call that Mexican talking? What's his name? I always forget that guy's name, and I don't mean it in any derogatory way. Ruben Kewen.
Oh, the guy running for Congress.
Yeah, he's running for Congress.
District 4.
What, are you going to be doing commercial for him now?
No, I'm just saying.
Okay, so don't tell me where he's running for. What is wrong with you? This is my show. Okay. Don't destroy my reputation and my image by publicizing some stupid.
But you're not talking positive about him.
I don't, but the talking is good.
No matter any news.
Any publicity is good, no matter how bad it is.
You're right. I apologize. So all this negative publicity that Trump's getting is good then?
I think so. I think so. I think people.
Luke Gingrich was on the TV the other day saying, look, he got 44 minutes, I don't know, 44 minutes free publicity when he was in Scotland. So it goes on. What does he need all these millions of dollars like Hillary needs for? You're making a big point. Trump's broke. He's not broke. He's on TV every day.
And
day
in, day out.
This
guy. Now he show up 15 minutes before the.
Oh, that good.
Huh?
Great. You'll have to do the 2:00 show.
I don't think he can stay that long.
Oh.
We can do it 1:00.
Right. He has to do billing hours, right?
Yeah.
I
know you don't like attorneys, but that's true. Why?
Wow,
And then somebody the other day was in what do you call some show and said Donald Trump need to start spending some money. Why? Right. He don't need to spend. Come on in, Mace. Look at him. Look who the wing brought in. Look at him, the guy. You moved on me.
It looks to me like that Supreme Court decision, believe it or not, on McDonald was 8-0. Can you believe that, Mr. Mace?
No.
Is that what it was? I just found this out.
Which one is that?
McDonald.
Is that the one from Utah?
No, I think he was from Virginia or someplace, wasn't he? He got convicted of using his office for whatever. and it was a trumped-up charge to begin with, and he got convicted because the liberals railroaded him or whatever. And now the Supreme Court overruled it. But 8-0?
Well,
So,
if you're charged in federal court, I think they have a conviction rate of about 98%.
Yeah,
So it's
sure.
almost a certainty.
yeah.
But what are you gonna do?
Oh, I always believed that once, I always said, let the feds do the job, because let me tell you, when they put their hands on your shoulders, forget it.
Now there's a guy,
90% of the time you go in, no
he
matter
would
what.
not take a plea bargain.
Who?
McDonald. He wouldn't take a plea bargain.
You know, a lot of
So he
people.
risked everything.
A lot of people will do that, especially if they don't think they did anything wrong. Now, I have people that, this one person in particular, he's already been convicted in California, very serious crime. And he's doing, I don't know, let's say 20 years. Now, he has another case in Vegas involving the same people, and it's also a very, very serious crime. Now, I have a deal on the table. I'm just trying to get in here, Robert. Rolando.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he's got a deal on the table where, oh, thanks, that if he pleads, whatever time he gets will run concurrent with the California time. He can serve it in California, which is much better. Actually, it's in Arizona because California is so overcrowded that the feds came in and they're having them ship prisoners somewhere else. But in any event, and he just won't take the plea. And as I told him, look, you can do an Alford plea. An Alford plea is, I'm pleading guilty because of the possibility I could be subjected to harsher punishment. However, I'm not admitting specific facts, but he doesn't want to do it. And my standard advice to people is, if you're not guilty, you plead not guilty. Now, logistically, let's say he wins. He's not going to be in
Yeah,
any
he's
better
doing too,
position than he is. And, you know, I mean, my feeling is one felony, you know, 2 felonies, 5 felonies, doesn't really matter.
I know.
Of course, that's easy for me to say since I'm not a felon.
We are talking to a criminal defense attorney, Mace Jampolsky.
Yeah,
Did I
you
pronounce it
Yeah,
right?
exactly. What I tell everyone is yam rhymes with ham, pole is in pope, ski is in slow.
Okay,
Oh my
Jampolsky. And he's a criminal defense attorney and located in Las Vegas, but he works anywhere. He can work anywhere. And he
Wow.
also wrote a book, how the criminal charges.
Yeah,
Oh,
facing,
oh,
facing criminal charges
Yeah,
in
and,
Nevada.
He also is a regular writer in Las Vegas Tribune, regular columnist, and the viewpoints, right? In the viewpoint,
Yeah, viewpoint section.
viewpoint section.
Because
Okay.
my viewpoints may be different than yours, but
Right.
they're mine.
Right. And a lot of people read you. I'm surprised when they tell me, oh man, that guy wrote a good story today.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I like to infuse a little bit of humor.
Yeah, it's good.
Keep people on their
Yeah.
toes.
And so now we are listening to him. He was supposed to be here at 12 o'clock, but I guess I forgot to tell him the new address.
Yeah, I thought it was
So
3
it's
o'clock,
mea
number
culpa.
1, then you moved.
Mea culpa. We was right there behind.
Yeah, but you still
But did
moved.
they tell you that we was here?
No,
Oh.
but
Well,
I found you.
yeah.
I hunted you
Fine.
down.
Okay,
Wow,
that's
good.
good. And I called you up. You was
Yeah,
calling?
no. Yeah, I did call and just to make sure, and then you know, when I'm out there, it's like, wait a minute.
But you
they're
know,
not
that's
here.
one thing that drives me crazy about attorneys' staff. They are like they're reading a script. They don't come out of that script for nothing.
I
For
need a
nothing.
script.
Oh,
But you
God.
like Rocio. You like the new one.
Yeah, but that wasn't Rosie.
No.
Rocio. That wasn't Rocio. It was somebody else.
Yeah.
And they went out to lunch. And I said, but you know, he just come. They went out to lunch. And God,
That's
drive-
that's my answering service. Usually
Oh,
they're pretty
the answer.
good.
Well, if it's the answering service, that's all she need to do. Say, look, I'm just the answering service.
Yeah, but
I
they
know, I used
usually
to have it.
send a message. But
Yeah, they
Oh,
did.
well.
They did.
well, actually, let me check.
No, it's okay.
because I
Don't
was
worry about it.
wondering-
Let's talk about you. Let's talk about I don't know, you cannot talk about that
I
criminal
can
case
talk
if you
about,
have
well, I
now.
can talk about it, but, let's see. No, it doesn't have you, it has other people.
Well, I didn't give my name or anything.
Oh, well,
No.
well, maybe that's why.
That's why, don't
But,
don't take them responsibility.
so what do you wanna talk about, Rolando?
I don't know, we can talk about your
Well,
book, we
yeah, I
can
just
talk
wrote this
about
book because
you-
everyone has misconceptions about, criminal charges, what happens, what should I do? I mean, the best advice I can give anyone is don't say anything. Or don't say anything until you at least talk to a lawyer. You can always talk later.
But doesn't that antagonize you with the police
Well,
officer? They
maybe
get mad.
they do get mad, but gee, I'm going to antagonize the police officer, or I'm going to say something to convict myself. I think it's an easy choice. It's just like me when I'm in the courtroom. I can zealously represent my client, or I can keep the judge happy. It's not my job to keep the judge happy. It's my job to represent my client. And I always like to tell people, you know what a criminal defendant and a fish have in common? They kept their mouth shut, they wouldn't have been hooked. And I think that's good advice. Now, you're saying it's difficult. Let me explain how it is difficult. You're driving, you get pulled over by the police. Obviously, they want to talk to you. You should have your license, registration, proof of insurance ready. And then they'll ask you, well, how many drinks did you have, blah, blah, blah. If you don't say anything, you're right, it's going to piss them off. Now, I like my clients to say as little as possible, or if they could say, my lawyer told me never to talk to police unless I talk to him first. This way, it makes me the bad guy, and it's not like you're being a jerk. I mean,
But let me play the role of a cop
okay,
now.
you do that.
Let me play the
All right,
role
you
of a
do
cop.
that.
Also, you listen to your attorney, so that means you are a criminal because you need to talk to your attorney before. If you got nothing to hide, you can talk to me. Look, this is why you talk to me.
I understand you're saying that, and my lawyer taught me about that. But every citizen is protected by the Constitution, and I'm innocent till proven guilty. I'm not saying I've done anything, but I listen to my attorney. I pay him a lot of money, so I need to listen to him, and he's never steered me wrong.
What about if the police officer tried to pay you instead of you paying the attorney? I said, okay, look, you pay me and I will give you the advice.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea to pay the police officer. That's called
right.
That's called a
You
bribe.
can't open
And
up
that-
your wallet and
and
take out your
that'll-
license with $100
Right.
bill
Well,
folded
you
up
can,
there.
but
Not
that's
anymore.
not a good
Not
idea.
Not anymore. It
Right.
used to be that way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
but,
everyone says, oh, well, this person was charged with murder.
So let me ask you, I
Take it
don't
out.
know how far, and I understand that, because believe me, I understand. Mr. Producer, can we go a little longer than 1 o'clock
Sure.
today? Huh?
Sure.
I'll talk fast.
Okay, we're gonna go. Let me ask you, what was I asking?
Something about
You're gonna ask him a
remaining
question.
silent.
I don't know if you really want to talk about it or not, but do you think that public defender that was handcuffed in court, it was right or was wrong?
That was absolutely ridiculous. I mean,
I didn't say that. I didn't ask you that.
Well,
Was she
did.
right or was she wrong?
Well, she was right. She was defending her client. I don't think she was being disrespectful. Like I said, if the choice is to defend your client or to make the judge happy, you should defend your client. And further proof that she wasn't doing anything wrong, when they appealed the sentence on behalf of the client, not the lawyer who got out, the district court judge, Rob Baer, vacated the sentence, said it wasn't right, and it wasn't right. And I mean, Judge Hafen, who's, he can be a hard guy, law and order, a lot of people like that, but he really made a mistake by doing that. He lost the election.
I think it had a lot to do with it,
I
maybe
think it had
everything.
a lot to do
Do
with
you
it.
think, I don't think so. I think he was gonna lose anyway.
No, well, let
That's
me
another-
let me tell you this. Bernie Zadrowski ran against him 6 years ago. Bernie Zadrowski is a really popular prosecutor. I really like him. Everyone likes him. He's fair. Judges like him. My understanding is he raised $196,000 for his campaign. And then Judge Hafen spent $4,000 on his campaign, and he won. So I don't think you can say he was going to lose anyway. But I mean, Amy Shalini's a good lawyer. She's a good-looking lawyer. I think that goes a long way. And she's a female, and I think that goes a long way. My opinion, after he put this female public defender in handcuffs, a lot of the women in Las Vegas were outraged, and women vote more than men. So I think that contributed to his
You're
election.
stepping on a lot of toes there, potentially.
Yeah.
Kind of bad thing to do when you're up for election.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, and I tell you, going back to Bernie Zadrowski, he's a likable person, but the problem with Bernie Zadrowski is that he wants to please everybody. He wants to be friendly with everybody. He wants everybody, and that is a not good reason to become a judge.
My philosophy is you can't please everyone. You might as well please yourself. But with that being said, I think it's really important to get along with people, especially on the other side. Now, I think I get along with most people. I have my issues, but just because I get along with them doesn't mean I'm not going to represent my client zealously. In fact, I'll tell the DA, well, will you do this, which usually I can. I'm like, look, I would love to do it, but the client wants to do this. I'm telling you up front, we agree on continuances all the time. I said, I'm sorry, I can't do that. My client's in custody. He doesn't want to do it. And on those things, you have to listen to your client. I mean,
that's a thing, yeah.
But I mean, there's a division that a lot of clients don't understand. The client decides whether he pleads or goes to trial. If he goes to trial, decides whether he testifies or not. Everything else is the lawyer. So if I want to file this motion to suppress, I think it's in his best interest, I will. If they want me to file a motion to suppress and there's no grounds, I won't. Sometimes that upsets the client, but it's like, look, I've been doing this over 35 years. I've gone to law school. If I'm the lawyer, and then you're the client, it makes more sense. And like I had this one client said, well, you're an awful lawyer. I said, really? Well, you're an awful criminal. You keep getting caught. But see, we got to.
Why did he call you an awful lawyer?
Well,
because let me tell you something. You people have the ability to aggravate the client.
Absolutely.
You have you aggravate. I never forget somebody that you know very well. I'm not going to mention now because he's your friend, I guess. I don't know. You guys are not really don't have that many friends, but he told me one day, I cannot go against the prosecutor because tomorrow I may have another case with him or her, and they're gonna make my life miserable.
That's absolutely ridiculous. And if
someone
he
told me that,
well, if that's what he said, he shouldn't.
I grabbed him by the neck.
If that's what he said, he shouldn't be practicing criminal law. And that's not true. And the thing is, as long as you're straight up. Now, I don't care if a prosecutor's hard charging and, here's everything, Mace. No, I don't like your client. We're going to do that. I'm fine. But if
they do that all the time.
And most of them do it. Most of them are accommodating. But I had this one case with the U.S. attorney where my client said, look, the guy that was driving with me, and he did a bad traffic stop for the police to come, and then they found the gun. He's working for the police. I'm like, no, I doubt he's working for the police because I would have gotten discovery. So I said to the U.S. attorney, he's like, is he working for the police? No. And my client was so insistent. So I wrote a letter. Writes back, no, not. And we're getting ready for trial. We're in there for calendar call, and the assistant U.S. attorney said, oh, Mace, I got something to tell you. What? My witness used to work for the DEA. I'm like, what? Used to work for the DEA? And I mean, I went berserk in the courtroom. I was floating off F-bombs. The marshals came over and said, Mace, you really need to chill. There's ladies present. I said, well, if it wasn't for one of these so-called ladies, I wouldn't be in this position. and it was in front of the Judge Navarro. I said, this is ridiculous. I'm filing an emergency motion to dismiss, blah, blah, blah. And I think the judge needs to review the file. So anyway, I come back and the U.S. attorney gives me, I don't know, about 10 pages of discovery. When I walk in, I see this woman sitting out there and she's got a file that's at least a foot thick. And I said, well, who are you? Blah, blah, blah. I said, oh, are you so-and-so's handler? Yes, I am. I said to the judge, this is ridiculous. I'm entitled to this. As it turns out, over the years, they paid this guy over $670,000 working for the DEA. Now he's no longer doing that. You know what that means? He must have done something bad for them to kick him out. So we're going back and forth, and I am just outraged. This other U.S. attorney that I really get along with came over, and my guy was looking at least 10 years. They offered him 10 years, and he's been in for about a year and a half. And I talked to the new prosecutor. I said, you want this to go away? Give me 3 years flat, binding plea. Otherwise, I'm calling the press. Your office is going to look really bad, blah, 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 blah. Walked back into court. She said, done. So we got that done. Interestingly enough, there's always the pre-sentence report where they recommend something. Well, in the pre-sentence report, they recommended 8 years. But the judge said, well, this is a binding plea and I'm going to follow it. So it was 3 years. He was in a year and a half. He got out less than a year. So he was really happy and it was a good result. And it ended up being a good result because, they played dirty.
Yeah. And sometimes they do play dirty when they don't need to play dirty.
Exactly.
That's what bothers me.
They didn't need to on this
It's
case.
just the habit.
I mean, just to tell you how good their case was, the gun was in the back between both of them. So it could be one, could be the other. But then when they booked him in the jail, he said, oh, you got me, I had the gun. So, I mean, if ever something was a slam dunk, yeah, it was a slam dunk. So it worked out well for him. But on this particular case, if this prosecutor tells me the sky's blue, I send a confirming letter. This will confirm our conversation on such and such a time when you said the sky is blue. But it is what it is.
And that's why I say they don't need.
And with most of the prosecutors and the U.S. attorney, their words, their bond. Will you do this? Yes. I mean, sometimes they forget. I had this thing with a federal prosecutor where I got a plea agreement saying, wait a minute, this is missing. Well, why is that missing? Blah, 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 blah. And I had a string of emails. I sent it to him. He's like, you're right, Mace. And then he fixed it. I mean, everyone forgets stuff. I don't have a problem with that.
Let me ask you something. It is easy to find misconduct in the state prosecution than it is to find it in the federal prosecution?
I don't know. I mean, the thing is, most prosecutors, I mean, the vast majority are straight up. I mean, some of them, maybe shade a little bit, but for the most part, they're straight up. And the same thing with the U.S. Attorney's Office. Now, I had a problem with 2, so now I don't trust these 2, but everyone else is fine.
Until you discover something.
Right. Well, yeah, but I mean, for the most part, I didn't have an inkling. Like on this case, my client was so adamant, said, gee, maybe that's here. And I get along really well with the DA's office. I mean, there's this one particular DA who never went behind my back, but it's just been so unreasonable that it's hard to deal with this DA. But you do what you can.
Is it male or female?
I don't want to say. It's one or the other.
Is it he, she?
It's one or the other.
Is it he, she?
Well, like in the discovery, you always get when they reference a confidential informant, they don't say the name. They'll say he or she this, he or she that. Every now and then they slip. But, I mean, I've been doing this for a long time. All the older prosecutors, been there forever. When the new prosecutors come up, they want to make their bones.
Let me ask you something. What is a good reason for a prosecutor by normally they control the judges.
Wait. I wouldn't say they control the judges. I think the judges often give them the benefit of the doubt, but I don't think they
more
control the
often than
judges.
they do to the
Yeah,
defense
yeah,
attorney.
I think that's
And
accurate.
you guys, as a defense attorney, got to prove yourself more efficient, more strong than the prosecutor.
Yeah, I mean, I think if it's cut down the
Okay.
middle, the tie goes to the prosecutor.
For
the most
example,
part.
there is a case where the prosecutor didn't want the jury to know that the defendant was not in Las Vegas when the crime was committed. And the judge didn't allow. What is the reason why? Why would a prosecutor will go that far as?
Well, wait a minute. I don't know the exact facts, but if a defendant was somewhere else at the time, that's
Yeah.
considered an alibi. And in order to use an alibi, you have to file what's called a notice of an alibi defense. You have to file it 10 days before trial. I don't know what the situation is, but obviously, if they weren't in Las Vegas and the crime happened in Las Vegas, then that's relevant information. I have a case right now, it's a murder case, and the issue is when exactly is the time of death? Because we're unsure. Now, my client was out of town for a certain time, so if in fact the cause of death was that time, it's an alibi. If it was another time he was in town, it wasn't. So I'm in the process of educating myself
Okay.
on rigor mortis, liver mortis, time of death.
ask
Oh my
you,
God.
let me be more blunt with you, Mace. Okay, you and
Never
I
a
hold-
problem for you, Rolando.
Huh?
Never a problem for you being
No,
blunt.
but it might be for you because you practice law in Clark County.
Well, people
You
say
know.
I'm known more for my honesty than for my talent.
Okay, let me ask you, it will make any difference if I mention the case?
No,
Okay? It won't hurt you with the judge or anything, well, the judge is retired.
well, it's not
now.
my case.
And the judge is retired anyway. I'm talking about Christine Lobato. She was not here, she was in Panaca, Nevada, for a whole week. The teacher testified to that, the priest testified to that, the hairdresser testified to that.
Well, I mean, if that's the case, obviously the jury didn't believe them. Because if they believed them, and I tell clients this
What do
all
you
the
mean the
way.
jury didn't believe them?
Well, if these three people said, oh, she was somewhere else.
But they didn't allow the jury to know that.
Right, well, I don't know what the case is. I don't know what the
You
facts
never hear
are.
of Christine Lobato's case?
Raul, we've talked about this before. I'm so busy with my own cases
Oh, excuse
that,
me.
you know.
No,
I
because
don't
it
know.
bothered me to see a young girl sitting in jail, for all
Whoa,
those years
whoa,
when,
Well, hold on. If that's the case, okay, I'm sure her lawyer would appeal and that would be one of the
They
grounds.
did
of
appeal 3 times. And they even have lawyers from San Francisco, from Tony Sierra's office. You know who Tony
Tony
Sierra is.
Sierra's a wild man. I've met him several times.
Okay, 2 ladies from San Francisco, from Tony Sierra's office, came here to defend. They didn't even allow her to have a DNA test. Why the prosecutor have to emphatically deny somebody? Wait a minute, when they was not even gonna pay for it. Somebody else was gonna pay for the
All right,
DNA.
all right. As I said, I don't know the facts of the case.
You do?
I do not.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes things are irrelevant. I'm not saying they are, but it would seem to me that first of all, it should be brought up on appeal. Second of all, if you lose the appeal, there's something called post-conviction relief, which basically says either your counsel was ineffective or somehow your constitutional rights were violated. In this particular case, if these people were alibi witnesses and she couldn't use them, I say that's a violation of due process and then it's a violation of effective assistance of counsel. Not because the lawyer did anything wrong,
No?
but because he was precluded from doing this or she was precluded. But I mean, that's why in the system, there's your trial, then there's the appeal to the Nevada Supreme Court or the appellate court now. If you lose that, you file post-conviction relief in front of the trial court. usually you don't win.
Oh, she's been.
And then but there's a whole, there's a whole sequence. Then you appeal that in the Nevada Supreme Court. If that doesn't work, you file what's called a federal writ of habeas corpus, basically saying that your federal constitutional rights were violated. You do that in the federal district court. If you lose there, then you go to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. But it takes forever. For instance,
you finish your 10th.
No, you're dead.
I had a client, Todd Honeycutt, and it was a trial. It was sexual assault. Went to trial, and I filed what's called a Messiah motion. They sent in some undercover cops to talk to him when he was represented by counsel. And there's a U.S. Supreme Court case says that if that's the case, you have to give Miranda warnings, which is absolutely ridiculous. You got an undercover cop, you're going to give Miranda warnings. It makes no sense, but that's what the law said.
Uh-huh.
So I filed it. We lost. Went to trial. We lost. Did the appeal. I lost. Someone else did what's called post-conviction relief, basically saying I was ineffective. So they lost that. They went to the Nevada Supreme Court. They lost that. They filed it in the federal district court. They lost that. Then they went up to the Ninth Circuit, and the Ninth Circuit reversed because they denied the Messiah motion. And at least I preserved the record, because as it goes up, if you don't preserve the record, if you don't object to something, let's say in final argument, and I am loath to object in final argument, but if there's something that's improper, you need to object. If you don't object, then the court can't consider it, well, is this wrong, or did it rise to the plain error statute, which is a much higher standard. So that's why it's important, even though the judge doesn't like it, the prosecutors don't like it, and frankly, the jury doesn't like it if you object too much. I try not to object too much. I will object if it's very important, of course, but
why you try not to object?
Because
you don't want to upset the prosecutor.
No, I don't want to upset the jury. I don't care about the prosecutor.
Jury wants to go back to watching TV.
Yeah, and what they think is like, well, why is he objecting? He's hiding something. So for that reason, but sometimes you have to make objections. I mean, I remember I tried a case with Kathy Hardcastle, and I made, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 objections. Not one was sustained. Not one. And then, well, actually, let me back up. One was sustained because the prosecutor said, so when this happened, did you tell the police officers, like, objection, Your Honor, that violates the privilege? And she says, counsel approach. She was mad, not at me, she's mad at the prosecutor. And she said, what are you doing? You know better. And I said, this is off the record. I have half a mind to move for a mistrial. She says, go ahead, I'm not going to grant it. So I moved for a mistrial. She denied it. But I didn't want a mistrial because I thought things were going well. But this way, I had an appellate issue because I think that was good grounds. As it turns out, my client was acquitted, so it didn't matter. But that was a big deal.
Now, let me ask you, have you done any sexual assault case?
I've done tons.
Okay. What's the difference between a sexual assault case and an intent to sexual assault?
Well,
it's not just a bullshit.
You mean intent or you mean attempt?
Well,
attempt. Well, attempt and intent are different. Here's the thing. For the most part, attempt sexual assault is part of a plea bargain because the penalties are a lot less. Specifically, lewdness with a minor under 14 is 20 to life, no probation. Now, attempt lewdness is 2 to 20, and it is probationable, but whenever you have a sex crime, before you're eligible for probation, you have to be a low or moderate risk to reoffend. You have to do this, what's called psychosexual evaluation.
And then you have to register for the rest of your life.
Oh, well, yeah, you have to register for the rest of your life. You have to get on the sex register.
Let me ask you something. Your experience, how many women there has been attempt sexually assault will walk? That's what you said, attempt, right?
Yeah. I don't understand your question. How many women have been charged?
No. How many women that have been involved in attempt
Well, the
sexual
thing
assault,
is that usually,
they will walk out of the room completely naked. Normally,
Oh.
my experience, wait a minute, let me explain that. My experience is when a woman has been sexually assaulted or has been almost, I cannot say that word that you said, almost sexual assault, they try to cover themselves. They try to be a little bit modest.
yeah,
Okay? Now, this woman walked out in the middle of the casino, completely naked, and said that she was.
all right, well, Rolando, I don't know the facts, but I can tell you this. In every case, it's different. Some people, when they've actually been sexually assaulted, don't report it for 30 days, for
Yeah.
6 months, for
Right,
years.
Bill Cosby.
So, well, yeah,
Well,
Bill
that was
Cosby, for
all kinds
instance.
of things there.
And so you don't know. Everybody's different. I mean, logically, does it sound like she was sexually assaulted? No. Could she have been? Yes. Could she have been afraid for her life so much that she didn't wait for her clothes, that she just wanted to run out?
This specific case that I'm talking about is very simple. The guy gave her the key of his room. She was with his friend. His friend went to the airport to pick up his wife. He don't want that girl around. He gave her the key of the room to go there because she was drunk and he didn't want her to go out there. Stupid him, because he didn't even know the stupid woman, right? Give her the key. He went out. When he came back, security was waiting for him in the hotel. They detained him, Metro Ken. There was no DNA in her body tied up to him, and none on him from her.
Well, I mean, the thing is, sexual assault, it doesn't have to be,
DNA?
vaginal. Well, it does. No, there doesn't. I mean, you could use a condom. There doesn't have to be vaginal penetration. I mean, actually, you could grab someone's breast, and they didn't want you to do it, and that's considered sexual assault. 10 to life. So, I mean, the way the laws are, it's
But it
ridiculous.
opens up a lot of potential abuse when
Right,
the woman
right.
has more power than the
Oh,
man.
absolutely.
Perfect example, what I think happened, not knowing the real facts, but I believe it, on Mike Tyson. He had sex with, whether she was a hooker, whatever she was, he wouldn't give her a ride home when it was all over, so she files rape charges against him.
And maybe that's the case, maybe not.
I
I mean,
know,
he's also
but that's
charged with beating
possible.
up his wife, but the
I
thing is,
understand, but it's possible.
yeah,
That-
anything's possible.
You know.
And what that is, we call it a he said, she said case.
But
'Cause you're not
it
there.
leans
Now,
towards the she.
Yeah, if it's a he said, she said, and
You're in
and,
trouble.
he's a big guy, she's a little girl, and she has bruises, that's one thing. I mean, if she doesn't, but the thing is, I was saying to Rolando, there need not be any physical evidence. So
Okay,
if this person
but
says,
I was
hey,
just
he
giving,
assaulted.
I was just giving you a
No,
background,
no, I
a
understand.
background on the case, because my question is this. He was found guilty. He was sentenced to, I don't know, I really
Long
don't know,
time.
18 to life or whatever.
And then wasn't she a known hooker?
Well, that's what I find now. According to the prosecutor, she came to the trial with mommy and daddy because they was afraid of her and this and that. But she was in the circle of prostitution. You know how they got their own. But anyway, my point is this. Let me finish my question to you so you can open my mind, because I'm going to be writing
I
about
don't know
it.
if that's possible.
Why, I don't have a mind?
No, I don't think I can open it.
Okay, now, he wants to appeal.
Of course.
He got a public defender. The public defender said, I'm not gonna appeal because it's no ground for appeal.
Well, here's the thing.
There's
It's
always
the
a ground
client's,
for an appeal.
it's the client's right if he wants to appeal, whether the PD.
Right.
There's something called an Anders brief, which is my client wanted to file this appeal, and I did, but I don't think there's grounds.
Yeah.
You can do that, but
But he
obviously you don't want to do that.
So
I mean,
now the guy is doing an habeas corpus all by himself, which is
to the
stupid.
state or to federal?
The state. To the state.
Yeah, you should get counsel appointed.
that day or before.
No, well, the thing is, if you
You see,
do an appeal,
if you will read the Tribune once in a while, except reading your column, you wouldn't know about it. You wouldn't know about it.
I don't need to read my column. I wrote it. Right.
Well,
unless you guys edit it, I don't like that.
Yeah, there you go.
But for the
We don't edit your column.
well, every now and then Maramis will say, "Hey, what about this? This doesn't make sense." And she's good. She catches stuff.
I know.
But yeah, I mean, as long as I'm not too rude or unintentionally rude, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm a lot better than I used to be.
Yeah, well, she's a good editor.
No, she is.
I think she is. But of course, you gotta be good to edit my column, you know, to make it sound American.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Do you think in Spanish still?
No,
No.
no, I think in English. I think about corruption and
No,
all that
that's not
stuff
what I
in
meant.
English.
That's
In
not what I
English,
meant.
you know. But I believe the guy is gonna go now. He got a date now. I think.
So a date for what? For
the-
an argument
for
in the
whole-
district
for
court?
yeah, he was sentenced in district
No,
court.
no, I understand that, but there's a whole procedure. The first level of post-conviction relief is in front of the same judge. The next one's Nevada Supreme Court. Then you
Oh,
go
no,
federal.
he's a habeas corpus.
Yeah, well, I understand that, but what I'm saying is they call it a petition of post-conviction relief in state.
That's the
which
same
is-
thing?
Which is, yes, it's the same thing. I mean, they call it that. In federal, they call it a writ of habeas corpus. I mean, there's
Oh.
two sections.
No, he's gonna be in front of the same judge. the
Okay,
same
so
day.
he's at the first level.
Yeah,
And then hopefully,
yeah.
they'll appoint a lawyer. Usually they do appoint lawyers for post-conviction relief. What judge is it in front of?
Judge, what's the name of the one that has the domestic violence, the husband killed the dog?
Oh, Melanie Tobiason? No. Stephanie Miley.
Stephanie Meyer.
She's a good judge. I like her.
Jeez.
Yeah. But, they're constrained by the record, and who knows? I mean, sometimes people, when they represent themselves, they don't do a good job. There's an old saying, a lawyer that represents himself has a fool for a client.
Yeah, but sometimes the lawyers don't know anything
Wow.
about the facts of the case, and they don't know the
Well,
law.
no, I don't,
you
I
would hope that
disagree,
they
I
review it.
disagree,
I know.
I disagree with you. A lot of times, the lawyers, like I said before, are afraid to argue with the prosecutor.
I'm sorry, Rolando.
That lawyer, I got it in my
I
mind.
disagree with you. If that's the
It's
case,
been since 1991.
I don't
I
care.
never forget that expression.
All I'm saying, Rolando, is for any good defense lawyer, they don't care about that. They don't.
Then he's not a good defense.
Maybe not. I don't know who it is, but I don't know any good defense lawyer that would ever say that. I mean, sometimes there's give and take.
Sometimes I get
Sometimes the
frustrated.
prosecutor's like, look, I need a continuance for this. It's fine, and go back and forth. And sometimes, it's like, look, I cut you some slack on this. How about you bend a little and give me this deal? And it's like, what goes around comes around. And I think it
But
makes more sense to get along.
unfortunately, when you do that, it's up to the judge to accept the deal or not to accept the deal.
Well, yeah, but let's
I
face it.
got a case where the prosecutor and the defendant make a deal.
Right.
They both agree, they all accept it, and the judge said, I don't care about your deal.
Well,
And
the
give the
thing
guy
is,
life.
well, no, wait. Oh, no. When you make a deal and the prosecutor recommends something, the judge is the one that has the ultimate decision. Now, sometimes you'll do what's called a conditional plea, which is, we're pleading guilty to this, and our agreement is the client's going to get 2 to 5.
Yeah.
And if the judge doesn't go along with it, then the client can withdraw his plea and go to trial. So we do that a lot. Well, obviously, they didn't do it that time, but if you think that the judge is gonna do that, that's what
And
What
then
would
let me
do-
tell you what the excuse was for the lawyer, for the judge.
Okay.
Well, I'm not sure if, because I think it was 2 to 8 or 2 to 10 or whatever that number is. You guys know that better than I do, you know. I'm not sure if 10 years from now he is going to commit the same crime again.
That's ridiculous. The judge, a
Kind of
seer,
like to put it in
like Karnak the
current context.
Magnificent.
Kind of like
You
don't
know,
let Bundy
now-
out of jail because he may
now-
not obey an order.
now
that
the
he made.
lady-
You know, I'm involved in the Bundy case. I have one of the
You are
defendants.
the body?
I don't have a Bundy. I'm
Oh.
involved with the Bundy case, but there is so much that it's going to cost the government $1 billion to prosecute these people. And what did they do?
Nothing.
Oh, they
No.
drew a gun. They scared the federal agent. No one got hurt. They weren't selling any drugs. No one got shot.
Someone
I
did
mean-
get hurt. One of the guys who was going on the way to the sheriff got killed, and he was on the way to go to the sheriff.
You know, none of the federal agents got hurt.
Right.
You know, and they're being prosecuted in Oregon and they're being prosecuted here. I happen to have a client who's being prosecuted in both places. I mean, I think that's a tactical error by the government because he has a right to speedy trial. If he's tried up here, not gonna make the speedy trial down there and vice
But
versa.
the theory of, well, he may do something in the future, that, to me,
Everyone-
is a little over the top.
Yeah,
Okay,
everyone may do
so-
something.
So,
Yeah, so where do you draw the line on that? You
so
can't keep someone in jail because he might
she
do something wrong
hired a
in the
lawyer,
future.
right?
Okay,
The
good.
mother of the kid hired a lawyer.
Yeah.
I think, I don't remember the amount, but let's say $10,000. She paid the $10,000,
Yeah.
okay? 14 months, and he has not finished the habeas corpus or whatever you call it.
Well, wait a minute, hold on. There's some very, very strict timelines.
Yeah, 1
because-
year,
Yeah, exactly.
1 year.
Because if you don't do it in 1 year, then, you know, you lose the right to do it. If that's the case, that's certainly ineffective assistance of counsel, but.
Yeah,
And then what do you do about that?
nothing you
luck.
can do.
Yeah.
You already lost the
You're gonna
$10,000.
claim malpractice and you're
Yeah.
sitting in jail and good
Yeah.
luck, you know?
He claimed that he filed.
Well, either he filed it or he didn't. That's pretty easy to check.
Right. How do you check it?
You go online.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just that easy?
Yeah.
Yeah?
You can go, if it's filed in the district court, you go on the district court website. If it's
Do
filed
you
in
do
Supreme
more
Court-
federal court than you do state court?
I do
You
about.
don't do family court. You
No,
don't.
no, I used to do that. I don't do it. I do juvenile. I like juvenile court.
Really? You like it?
Yeah, I
Why?
like- because the philosophy of the prosecutor is not so much punishment, it's rehabilitation. And I really like Judge Boy, and I
Yeah, he's
I
a
just
good-
like
I like him.
the people down there, and you can work out creative pleas. Like for instance, I have a couple of young clients that smoke some marijuana. Big deal. They're 12, 13. It's a felony. If we're an adult, it wasn't. But I mean, here's a drug conviction. Let's say you get convicted of misdemeanor drugs. That's going to affect whether or not you
Yes.
get into college and everything. So we do
Oh,
something.
really? They don't let you go to
Well,
college?
it's not that. But let's face it, you have two applications. They're basically the same. One has a marijuana conviction, one doesn't. Which one you gonna pick?
The one that had the money to pay for the.
Well, let's assume everything's equal except for
Oh,
that.
okay.
But in any event, we do what's called a consent decree, which is, okay, we agree, we're pleading guilty. Well, you don't call it pleading guilty in juvenile court. You admit or deny. We admit we committed this violation. And as part of the sentence, they have to go to this marijuana course. They have to do community service. If they do that, the case is dismissed. So now it's gone. It's a juvenile record. No one will be able to find it. And that's a good resolution for the most part, unless the kid had a couple of pounds. That's how we resolve it. Now, the thing is, you can do that once, but if it happens again, usually you can't.
And you cannot seal the record when you are.
Well, a juvenile you can seal, really,
You
unless
can,
it's a
even if
sex
it's 2
assault.
pounds?
Well, if it's a juvenile offense. And the thing is, after they can what's called certify people up, which means even though it's, they're a juvenile, let's say they're 16, they commit robbery with a deadly weapon, they can charge them as an adult. But that's that.
No, no.
Rolando, I have another appointment that
No,
I
that's
really
fine,
need to go
it's
to.
1:30,
Okay.
we finished now.
All right, well,
Thank
that's
you,
good.
let me ask you the last question. I
Okay.
hear that you are thinking about maybe do an hour show,
Oh,
about.
yeah, I'm thinking about it, we'll talk later.
Okay,
So
that's
it's
good.
an hour a week if people can put up with me.
I think so, you're very interesting, I like the way you write, but I like the way you talk, because you give some excitement to the.
Well, I hope so. My juries never fall asleep.
Thank you for listening, and thank you to Mace Jampolsky for being here today, and thank you, Mr. Producer.
Oh, you're welcome.
And we are going to finish.
Thanks,
show.
Rolando,
Thank
it's
you
always a pleasure.
Thank you for listening. God bless you. God bless America, and God bless our troops.
Now, you post that on YouTube, right?
Yep.
I gave you this, didn't I?
Yes, I got 3 in my
Oh,
car.
good. Okay,
To
good.
put them in here, but my car blow up the radiator,
Oh,
and I'm using
I've
the
done
truck.
that.
Oh my God.
Does your truck have air conditioning?
Oh, yes.
Post this on
You-
YouTube.